That's ready to go.
And you see this? I would like to call to order at 7:01, March 4th, Committee of the Whole meeting. Would you please rise for a moment of silence, followed by the flag? Pledge, sorry. Amen. I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all. Okay, we have subcommittee reports. Infrastructure, Councilor Kate.
Do we need roll call?
Yes.
There was no meeting, but there's information in your packet.
All right, thank you. Transportation, Vice President.
There was not a meeting.
Yeah, I think that's me again. We met today and talked about the airport's research and planning about the new box hangar designs.
Oh, okay.
And so that's in process, and there'll be more down the road.
Thank you. Ordinance Review Committee.
We spend most of the meeting talking about how to prepare landlords for vacant properties and things that we could do to kind of help issues that might occur with, properties that don't have anybody in them, like mostly spurred by the church incident.
We need that. Boards and committee reports, Business Improvement District, Councilor Menastra.
Hello, we had a meeting, and I'm going to pass it over to, and so everybody can see our new
Yes, please.
director, Danielle Kangas, who's going to talk about what's going on.
All right. So as of February 13th, we mailed out all of the assessments. They're all due by March 30th, so the end of this month. Right now, we have collected 24.47% of those assessments, and more come in every day. We still have 57 outstanding invoices from last year's assessment, and we are going to start doing collections on those. The website, discoverpottstown.org, has been built. It is being used. We currently have over 400 events on there, and 11 businesses have signed up and claimed their pages. Our social media has grown a lot since we took over, and now we've got 263 likes on our Facebook and 161 on Instagram. And we've rebranded the Downtown Dollars to be more sophisticated, better looking, to get adoption and get more businesses to participate in that program as well. The bid is backing the community festival put on by Montgomery County Community College to help bolster their event. We were planning another event and decided that would be better use of our time to help them get their event off the ground and more legs for that. The bid is also curious as to how applications for street closures are functioning. There is some language in here that you need 75% of residents, and there's a lot of confusion that is coming to the bid right now about that, and so we're diving pretty deep into what it means to have an application with 75% approval with signatures, and can a person sign multiple times if they have multiple residents in the bid area. So we are really diving deep into that as well. Any questions for me as the bid?
What was the event that you mentioned with Monco? When is that?
That is April 18th, and it's called the Community Festival
Where is it happening?
at Montgomery Community College in
Well,
Pottstown. It is
Thought
at their
worth
North Campus.
It was worth a question.
No, it's a great question.
Do anybody have any more questions? Okay, thank you.
All right, thank you so much.
Human Relations Commission, Marcia Levengood.
Good evening, councilors, Madam Mayor, and Council President. The commission did not meet in February as we did not have a quorum. The commission's March meeting will be held on Tuesday, March the 10th at 6 p.m. in council chambers, and all are welcome to attend.
Thank you. Library, Caitlin Gladback.
Hello, this is my first time here, though some of you might recognize me. I've worked at the library for about 3 years now, and I've always lived in the area. Specifically, I live in West Pottsgrove. Just a few updates. Upper Pottsgrove has paid their fair share. I already received the money. It's in the bank account. No worries on that part. And then I just wanted to let everyone know our summer reading is Unearth a Story this year. So expect lots of dinosaurs, lots of anthropology, lots of history. And are there any questions I can answer?
Who's next one? Mr. Vasoli, is he around or is he gone?
As of right now, he's taking a step back just for.
Still at the library.
Yep.
No questions, but I love your enthusiasm.
Me too. I love the energy.
Oh, thank you.
Thank you.
Oh, wait, thank you.
Thank you.
Pottstown School District, Councilor Rowe.
So I attended a couple of the hearings that were happening regarding the proposed charter school. And then I did attend the meeting that they had, all their committee meetings, well, some of their committee meetings, and then their meeting as a whole. So the meeting opened with recognition for senior and alternate board member Jayana Hill, who received the Superintendent's Award for her substantial involvement in clubs, sports, and achieving 1,000 career basketball points. Yeah,
Wow.
that's amazing. Then they reviewed some curriculum and policy matters. They also highlighted several upcoming student-funded field trips to international destinations. And then there was a preliminary review of the 2026-27 budget, showing a projected 3.4 million shortfall based on conservative state funding estimates. This is obviously early days, so they'll be going back to this again. And then there was also, the board approved the new multi-year contracts for Mr. Rodriguez and for business manager Maureen Oakley to ensure leadership continuity.
All right, thank you. Mayor?
Good evening, Madam President. Since last time, I attended the Monco 30% Policy Forum on housing in Lansdale, and I have some slides and stuff that I'm going to share with council, so just FYI, those are coming, that's where those are coming from. I attended the State of the County from Montgomery County. It was fantastic. The county has done a lot in 2025, and I will also be sending council, I have a slideshow for that as well, so you can get the updated information. We did coldest night of the year walk, warmest night of the winter walk.
I think we were supposed to be sweating.
And lucked out because we had really beautiful weather. And I just want to thank all my teammates and Trinita and Ray and Mackenzie and all of our supporters for walking with us the 3K to raise money for Beacon of Hope. So thank you for that. And Track had a really nice presentation called A Journey in Music Plus for Black History Month. And it was packed, and it was nice to see our pathonetary Noah Marlier was there, Commissioner Jamila Winder was there, State Rep Cerisi was there. So it was a really great turnout and a beautiful event. Let's see, upcoming events. This Saturday, March 7th, having a food drive at Grocery Outlet from 10 to 1. All food will be going to the Pottstown cluster and surrounding food banks to feed people in need in our community. So if you have time, please stop out and donate some items, non-perishable and non-expired, please. Track is having their comedy fundraiser on March 13th from 6 to 8. Tickets are going fast, so go to their website. Let's see, sorry. Saturday, March 14th is the recycling event for electronics at Alt House Arboretum. So your TVs, your computers, your printers, all of those cables in your house, they're taking those from 9 to 1 on Saturday, March 14th. And, oh, I'm sorry, on the 29th, Sunday, from 3, beginning at 3 p.m. at the community college, the Joint Veterans Council is going to be showing their Journey Home film, which I'm excited to see. And I just had one follow-up. I don't need a response now, but I just keep forgetting. I wanted to follow up on the letter that I drafted to Senator Pennyquick regarding the gun switches. I'm not sure if that ever went out or if we're doing anything about that.
Yeah, could you actually resend that to me, please?
Yes.
You might have got buried.
And that concludes my report.
Okay. Okay, we have a public hearing, liquor license transfer request, 267 East High Street. Did I forget you?
Yeah,
Sorry.
that's all right.
I thought maybe I'd give you a little break, but if you want to go
Hey, you
ahead
want
right
to.
now, then that's fine.
All right.
We got the manager's report, everybody.
All right, so, good evening, everyone. I've got a couple important updates for everybody tonight. First, an item of good news. So I'm really pleased to announce that the borough's Parks and Recreation Department has been named Agency of the Year for the entire Commonwealth of Pennsylvania by the Pennsylvania Recreation and Park Society. So, big round of applause. This is really great. It's really huge news for us. This award is based on a review of the department's work and accomplishments over the past 3 years, and it really recognizes the excellence in programming, facilities, capital improvements, leadership, and community impact. So the award will be officially presented at the PRPS Annual Conference on March 26th at Nook Sports in Manheim, beginning at 5 p.m. And at this time, I think we have 1 or 2 counselors signed up to attend with us, but if anyone else would like to go, please let me know and we can get you registered. We're also planning to recognize this achievement locally with an official presentation at the April Committee of the Whole meeting to the Parks Department. And then we'll be promoting the recognition through borough communications throughout the year on various communication channels. So I think this honor is really a testament to the steady leadership of Director Lenhart, as well as Andy Graham, and the dedicated employees within the department who work every day to make our parks, programs, and facilities among the very best of any municipality in the entire Commonwealth of Pennsylvania. And for that, we're really grateful and honored. So thank you. So I also attended the State of the County with the mayor and Pottstown. We got a lot of name recognition there, which is always good. And specifically, they recognized us for our leadership in addressing homelessness and housing challenges throughout our partnerships with the county, as well as Beacon of Hope, who is planning a shelter in the area. More good news on our MS4 stormwater program. So I'm pleased to report that the borough recently completed a MS4 inspection from DEP with no violations identified. So that was really great to see. And for those of you that don't know, the MS4 is a federal and state requirement aimed at reducing stormwater pollution and sediment entering waterways. And one example I can give you of how we're meeting some of these requirements while also improving local neighborhoods is the Airy Street Alley project completed in 2019. So this project used under drainage pipe as well as a driving surface aggregate compound that was developed by Penn State and generally holds up better with erosion and things of that nature to restore an alley and fix drainage problems in this area. So it helped with our stormwater management goals, while also helping us meet our MS4 requirement and improving the surface of the alley for the neighbors in that community. In addition, recently the borough received a Growing Greener grant to reconstruct Herb Alley between 3rd and 4th Streets, and we plan to use porous paving, specifically a porous asphalt, for this application. So it's really projects like these that allow us to improve the quality of life in the neighborhood by leveraging grant funding while also meeting environmental requirements and addressing longstanding drainage and pavement issues in private alleys where really it's kind of outside of the realm of funding responsibility for the borough. So it's just a really great project for us. I also attended a Habitat Humanity ribbon cutting recently, and I wanted to just acknowledge the strong partnership that the borough has with Habitat and how the solutions that they bring are a really good fit for the borough's affordable housing needs. So from the borough staff's perspective, it checks several important boxes and serves as a successful model for how affordable housing initiatives can be structured so that they are able to achieve maximum benefit for the borough. That includes improving the quality of life. One way that they do this is by removing blighted properties that are a nuisance to surrounding residents. Their projects also reduce costs to taxpayers. So by decreasing demand for borough code enforcement, fire, and police services associated with vacant or deteriorated properties, we can cut our costs and focus on more pressing issues. It creates affordable housing opportunities, as you know, everyone is challenged with the rising real estate prices. And it also promotes generational wealth through home ownership. So these are owner-occupied units that they're putting people into, and it's helping residents build long-term financial stability. And lastly, but also importantly, it helps the borough to maintain a balance of its percentage of rental versus owner-occupied housing within the borough. Right now, we're at about a 50% ratio. We think it's a pretty good ratio. We've got more apartments coming online. So through affordable housing initiatives, how can we include and emphasize and encourage owner-occupied affordable housing to help offset some of the apartments that are coming online that might not be designated as affordable. So that's a really good partnership, and we'd love to see their projects, as well as Genesis Housing. They have similar programs as well. Update on the PICO utility repairs. So most of you had heard a couple weeks ago, we had some issues with the underground electrical line on the 100 block of High Street. And I just want to thank our fire, police, and all the emergency responders and borough staff who responded to that event. Our crews were on site for over 48 hours that weekend to ensure that the situation was fully stabilized and safe. I am happy to report that last week PICO did complete replacement of the entirety of the damaged line underneath the sidewalk between New York Street and 18 High Street. So the areas right now are temporarily stabilized with asphalt for the time being, and they'll be returning when the weather conditions improve to replace the concrete in those locations. The good news with that is that we've also had very positive discussions with PICO about them possibly fully replacing, or at least replacing a majority of the sidewalks on that block, in addition to just replacing the concrete squares that were damaged as a part of the event. So we're actually coordinating this additional work to incorporate a fully refurbished streetscape, which will align with the funding that we're pursuing through Montgomery County 2040 program, which you'll see later on in the agenda. So always look for ways that we can take a negative and try to leverage that and flip it into a positive, and this is one good example of that. Public Works, I would like to recognize our Public Works crews. So many may have not have noticed, but they've been working tirelessly throughout the past 2.5 months, responding all hours of the day and night in very cold weather, to a lot of main breaks that were due to that weather. So at this point, thanks to their dedication, we're largely caught up on these repairs as the weather condition has started to improve. So big thanks to them for their efforts. Water treatment plant, some of you might have seen that we recently installed UV disinfection at the wastewater treatment plant, I should say. We did install UV disinfection at the water treatment plant about a year ago. So the benefits of this at both facilities is that it replaces the previous chlorine-based system. This enhances safety by eliminating the need for chlorine gas, which can be dangerous if it gets released, not only for our employees, but for the community. But also importantly, it reduces chlorine that is used to treat the wastewater, which ultimately gets put into the Schuylkill River. So we now have almost no chlorine now going into the Schuylkill River, which would be beneficial to habitats. And this project really generates long-term operational savings because now I think the authority was spending about $200,000 a month on chlorine and associated chemicals that were needed to then balance the pH of that chlorine that are now being saved, meaning that this project will pay for itself in about 2 years. So just a really good project, another good example of a project that just kind of checks all the boxes for the borough, improves a lot of different conditions, saves everybody money, and is good for the environment. And lastly, as council may recall, the borough has been working on engineering and bidding documents for the replacement of a stormwater arch located on private property at 512 Willow Street. So this section partially collapsed last summer. And we're used to these kind of projects now, unfortunately, but that means we have a pretty good system down for how we go about repairing and replacing these. So we are going to be moving forward with that project using a similar framework that we used for the storm arch replacements on private properties located at 42 Walnut and 1200 High. So as with those projects, the borough has secured the necessary legal releases and access agreements from the property owners to allow the work to be completed, and making sure that in the future, the structure does not fall under the borough's maintenance responsibility. So the project is fully grant funded. Fortunately, we were able to use funds left over from the two previous projects because they came in under budget to fund this project. And the project was recently advertised for bid, and the bids were open today. So we did attach the bid tabulations to my manager's report tonight for council's review. We found that the pricing was very competitive and even came in a little bit below our initial cost estimates, so that's some good news too. But because the bid tab was received late, I'm covering it in my manager's report this evening with the intention that we'll list it as an action item on council's regular agenda for a possible recommendation on Monday night. So I know that was a lot, but happy to take any questions or comments.
Councilors?
Thank you.
Thank you. Okay, now can I do the public hearing? Is that okay?
Do whatever you want, Madam President.
I know. Okay, public hearing, liquor license transfer request, 267 East High Street. Matt?
Yes, thank you, President Lindsay. At this time, we will hold a public hearing pursuant to 40 PA Code Section 7.61 on the application of Highline 267 LLC for the intermunicipal transfer of a restaurant liquor license numbered R20614, to be transferred from the property at 17 Mainland Road, Harleysville, Pennsylvania, to 267 East High Street here in Pottstown. The public hearing will be for the purpose of receiving comments and recommendations of interested individuals residing within the borough concerning the applicant's intent to transfer the license into the borough. Per the liquor code, within 45 days of receiving the application, you're required to hold a public hearing and then either approve or deny the transfer by resolution or ordinance. As we've discussed in the past, a public hearing of this kind is somewhat a specialized comment period. It is important, though, because your decision-making on this is going to have to be based on the record that's developed during the hearing. As a result, if council has any questions or needs additional information, this will be the time to raise it. Per the law, you're required to approve the transfer unless there is specific objective evidence that the transfer will have a detrimental effect on the community. Prior to tonight's hearing, I marked several exhibits on behalf of the board. Council. Council Exhibit 1 is the legal notice.
I was getting ready to say, and he,
Council Exhibit 2 is the current license that'll be transferred. Council Exhibit 3 is the application submitted on behalf of Highline 267 LLC, which provides information about the proposed project. And Council Exhibit 4, which is at your seat this evening, is a staff memo that concerns the standing of the applicant, its principal and related businesses operating within the borough with respect to tax delinquency and code issues. At this time, we'll invite public comment. Again, if anyone wants to offer comment or anything either in support or against the application, this would be your opportunity to do so. And again, I encourage council to ask any questions you may have. And again, if there's additional information, this is the time to ask for it. Before we go to the general public, though, I know Mr. Trench, who's the applicant's principal, is here with us this evening. And Mr. Trench, I wanted to give you the opportunity first, if you want to speak in support of the application.
Good evening, council members, and thank you for the opportunity for allowing me to speak tonight. My name's Fabian Trench, and I'm the owner of Highline 267. I appreciate your time and consideration regarding the municipal transfer of the liquor license for the property located at 267 East High Street. Over the past few months, I've worked with the borough and the zoning hearing board to ensure the project aligns with the vision of the downtown. The variance for the rooftop outdoor seating hours from 11 a.m. to 11 p.m. were recently approved, and I intend to operate fully within those conditions. The goal for this space is to create a well-managed rooftop dining and lounge environment that contributes positively to the continued growth of the downtown while remaining respectful to the neighboring businesses and residents. This will not be a nightclub environment. The concept is focused primarily on food service, with alcohol being served responsibly as part of the dining experience. The intention is to provide a place where people can enjoy dinner, small plates, and drinks in a relaxed setting while overlooking High Street. I understand the responsibility that comes with this, with holding a liquor license, and I take that responsibility seriously. I will operate with trained staff, responsible alcohol service policies, and consistent management oversight at all times. I will also strictly follow the approved operating hours and remain responsive to any concerns from the borough or surrounding neighbors. My goal is for the establishment to become a positive addition to the downtown area by bringing people to the district, supporting surrounding businesses, and creating a space the borough can be proud of. I respectfully ask that council approve the municipal transfer of the liquor license so I can move forward with this project. I thank you all for your time and consideration. I truly believe this will be a positive addition to High Street, and I'm committed to operating in a way that reflects well on this borough.
Thank you, Mr.
all.
Trench.
Yes.
And does council have any questions for Mr. Trench before we go to the public?
I do.
Yes.
So I've been given a list of some outstanding issues with the borough.
Okay.
Are you aware of them?
I'm aware of one issue that has been going on for 427 Chestnut, which was resolved. There's an attorney on hand for that.
Matt, I guess I'm going to ask you this question. Is there any way we can put a contingency on here that these obligations listed here must be met before any transfer of a liquor license? I was very much for this when we talked about it, I think it was last month. But given this information, I can't vote for this because I can't trust that you're going to do what's best for the town or fulfill any other obligations if these haven't been met.
Legally, the liquor code is not completely clear as far as whether conditions can be put on the approval. However, on Monday evening, if you want, you can issue a conditional approval. Whether the Liquor Control Board honors them or not, again, isn't clear.
Mr.
May I speak?
Oh, go ahead. No, you.
Yeah, I was going to say, I mean, what if whatever issues there are is resolved prior to Monday? Would that satisfy?
That's what I would
your-
like to
your-
see personally, yes.
That sounds good.
All right.
I would second that, yeah. I mean,
Yeah, me too.
I'm very supportive of your idea. I love the idea.
Right.
But when looking at some of these issues, I mean, we're supposed to be responsible for our constituents, act on their behalf, and I feel like it would be irresponsible to approve something knowing some of the things that are out there. But if you can resolve them,
Absolutely.
full speed ahead.
All right.
Absolutely. Ray and Lisa, yeah.
Now you're
Maybe,
right
yeah.
there having a drink on that roof.
Yeah.
Yeah, I mean,
We all agree.
on several occasions, you've come to us saying, hey, man, can you do me a favor? Can you support us? Can you support what we're doing, what I want to do? Okay, and we said, right on, yeah, we're going to do that. And you would have to agree that, we got tenant lists on Queen Street, Washington Street, Lincoln Avenue, we got outstanding sewer and water bills. If you're going to ask us for a favor, a solid, okay, you got to be solid by us.
Well,
Okay.
if there's outstanding sewer bill, I'm not aware of that because
That's on Queen Street.
Okay, I'm not aware of that one. I'm sorry.
And
But I will check tomorrow morning when they're open, whatever is outstanding, I will satisfy.
That is,
Yes,
that's
okay.
what buddies do. That's what partners do.
Yeah,
They take care of
that
each
I
other.
was unaware of, so.
Yeah, if you want to call Marley Boone in our finance department, she can give you the list of what is outstanding.
Yeah, I will actually show up in person and handle
No,
it.
she's right there.
Sure.
Can she take a check tonight?
Hey, I'm sure she
I
will.
can though.
But you can ask Marley.
No, I guess I can't.
But we support this.
Yes.
Don't get me wrong.
All
We
right.
support this wholeheartedly.
All right.
But
Yeah.
you gotta.
Whatever's there, I will
Okay.
handle, but that's news to me because I was not aware of that. Yeah.
Thank you. Are there other questions for Mr. Trench? All right, seeing none, anything else, Mr. Trench, before we go to the public?
Yeah, just like I mentioned earlier, one of the item Andrew mentioned, I was totally unaware of, but as I mentioned, I'll personally walk into the bar tomorrow and I will handle whatever needs to be resolved. And I believe that will satisfy everyone, as well as the bar. Yeah.
Thank you, Mr. Trench.
Thanks, bro.
Again, this is an opportunity for public comment. If there's anyone who wishes to comment for or against, or even neutrally related to this transfer, this would be your time to do so. I'd ask you come up one at a time to the microphone. Please identify yourself and your address.
Thank you.
Seeing none, does council have any further questions or requests for information before we close the record? Again, your decision will have to be based on the record that's as developed.
Just one, it's jogging my memory. It operates similar like what we take positions on the zoning hearing board. We could deny support, or do we have the option to do nothing as well?
No, you have to take one action, one way or the other. So you can approve it, you can conditionally approve it, with reasonable conditions, or you can deny it. Again, though, the law is not clear on the conditional approval, so I can't guarantee that Liquor Control Board would necessarily honor those conditions.
Matt, this is a full liquor license, not a PA liquor spirits license.
Yeah, so it's a restaurant
Liquor license.
liquor license.
Okay, got it.
All right. If nothing else, actually, we'll deviate a little bit. Mr. Trench has indicated that there's some things he wants to clean up related to his properties. What we'll do is we'll keep the record open until Monday evening's council meeting, at which time we'll close that before any action is taken. This will be listed, though, under new business. You have to act on it either by ordinance or resolution. At this time, there's not enough time to do it by ordinance, so a resolution will be prepared. If council has any thoughts beyond of what we discussed here this evening, I'd ask that you email me between now and then so that we can prepare appropriate resolution or options for you.
Can we just be kept up to date if he does come in tomorrow to fulfill the things? We can have an idea that we just along those lines.
Yeah, absolutely. We'll let you know what the status is.
Right, thank you.
Yeah, and we'll note that on the record before officially closing it Monday evening.
Okay.
All right. So with that, we'll adjourn the hearing, but leave the record open related to that limited issue till Monday evening. Thank you.
Okay, thank you, Matt. Number 10, discussion for potential ordinance amendment, third-party inspections. Matt?
Yeah, thank you, President Lindsay. The Commonwealth Court ruled that administrative search warrants which authorize the inspection of rental units require individualized probable cause of an ordinance violation. This is a novel holding and out of line with the standard practice throughout the Commonwealth. Rather, the common practice is in line with a prior United States Supreme Court decision which held that municipalities may obtain administrative search warrants which authorize inspection of rental units without the individualized probable cause if the warrants are issued pursuant to a rental licensing scheme established by ordinance. This Commonwealth Court decision is problematic when a tenant feels compelled or coerced to refuse municipal inspections intended to confirm that a rental unit is safe and habitable because they fear being evicted because the landlord is not keeping the unit up to code. In the borough, a prerequisite for obtaining or renewing a rental license is that the landlord demonstrate that the rental unit meets certain minimum standards to ensure that the rental unit is safe and habitable. The plaintiffs in the lawsuit, however, essentially believe that landlords and tenants are entitled to refuse these inspections, thereby prohibiting municipalities from confirming the habitability of rental units under the guise of alleging that these types of governmental inspections, if authorized by a generalized administrative search warrant issued by a judge, violates the tenant's constitutional right to privacy under Pennsylvania's Constitution. The borough strongly disagrees and petitioned the Pennsylvania Supreme Court to allow for the borough to appeal for reconsideration. The borough also received contact from other municipalities who are interested in and concerned about the statewide effect of the Commonwealth Court's decision and its impact, especially on tenants of absentee landlords or slumlords, and the borough is hopeful that those municipalities will file amicus briefs in support of the borough's position if an appeal is allowed by the Pennsylvania Supreme Court. Upon receiving notice of the Commonwealth Court's decision, the borough engaged in extensive legal review and administrative review of the decision and its impact on the borough's licensing program. Pursuant to Pennsylvania Rule of Appellate Procedure 1736, the filing of the borough's petition for allowance of appeal acted as an automatic supersedious of the Commonwealth Court's decision. In layman's terms, the petition prevented the Commonwealth Court's decision from going into effect until the Pennsylvania Supreme Court weighs in one way or another. Accordingly, the borough's rental licensing program remains in full force and effect, and where necessary, the Department of Licensing and Inspections may continue to obtain administrative search warrants to inspect rental units where authorized by the borough's ordinances. That said, while the borough maintains that it is legally entitled to obtain administrative search warrants to perform necessary inspections of rental units where authorized by ordinance, and intends to actively defend its right to do so, Staff believes that there's benefit to limiting the instances where this will be required. Accordingly, we are proposing an ordinance amendment which will create the option for landlords to utilize non-governmental third-party inspectors for inspections of rental units for licensing purposes. At your place this evening is an outline of that proposal, and the proposed ordinance changes are in red. It'll be an amendment to Section 206 of Chapter 11 of the Borough's Code of Ordinances. Specifically, it'll create a new subsection 6 that'll provide the option for landlords to either utilize the licensing and inspection department or a qualified code inspector for the performance of any inspections required pursuant to Chapter 5, Code Enforcement, or Chapter 11, Housing, related to the licensing or relicensing of a rental unit. It'll also require, however, that a landlord must use a qualified code inspector when any tenant of an occupied residential rental unit refuses to allow an inspection by L&I. And this is the part that we believe will most strongly reduce the instances in which an administrative warrant will be needed. This should alleviate the concerns of landlords and tenants who are worried about borough inspectors entering their property solely on the basis that the rental unit is being rented without a license. There will be established parameters for who will be a qualified inspector. Specifically, the proposal requires that the inspector be someone who maintains an office in Pennsylvania that is listed by the Pennsylvania Department of Labor and Industry as a certified third party or agency, possesses an ICC property maintenance or residential building inspector number 10 status or its equivalent, or possesses an American Society of Home Inspectors certification, and also maintains a minimum of $1 million in error and emissions insurance. The borough will provide the inspector with a checklist of safety and habitability requirements that will need to be reviewed and certified as compliant by the inspector, who will then need to submit a report to L&I under the penalty of perjury. The inspector will assume liability for the inspection, which will be another mechanism to ensure the integrity of the reporting. The landlord will be responsible for any fees associated with the inspection, and the borough will also require a review fee. The landlord will be responsible for securing written consent for the inspection from all tenants of an occupied unit prior to an inspection, and failure to obtain any such consent will not alleviate the landlord of their obligation to complete all requirements for obtaining a rental license for the unit, including passing all relevant inspections, as no rental unit may be legally occupied without a rental license. This proposal is also important because a new trend is developing because of this litigation. There's been an increase in landlords who are submitting written refusals from tenants who are allegedly refusing to allow L&I to inspect properties, citing the Commonwealth Court's decision. The Commonwealth Court's decision, however, is not in effect and is extremely narrow in its applicability, as it only relates to when an administrative search warrant can be obtained. Likewise, at least one former tenant of a landlord alleged that the landlord coerced them into signing the refusal. The tenant's refusal then throws into limbo the licensing status for the relevant rental units as the borough awaits a resolution of the ongoing litigation, which is problematic from an enforcement perspective and could take several years for this all to be resolved. Staff's proposal, though, will neutralize these issues and provide landlords with a path to obtaining a rental license without a routine inspection performed by L&I, if that is an issue for them, while providing the borough, and more importantly, tenants with assurances that rental units are safe and habitable. If council supports this proposal, the expectation then will be that all landlords with tenants who are currently refusing routine borough inspections will obtain third-party inspections, bring their rental units into compliance, and obtain a license by the summer, or else face enforcement for an illegal rental. The plan is for this to be listed Monday night for authorization for you to consider authorizing it for advertisement in line with the proposal with the potential adoption at your April council meeting. In the meantime, please let us know your questions and feedback, and I'd be happy to take any immediate questions you have now. However, it's a lot of information to digest, and again, this will be listed for Monday night.
Matt, is the administrative warrant the same warrant that is used by ICE to get into people's houses?
I can't speak to.
It is.
Yeah, I can speak to ice warrants.
So has there been any action is there any current litigation in any court in Pennsylvania challenging their right to get in based on an administrative warrant that we're using for public safety as well? Okay, is there any challenge to that you're aware of? I support what you guys are doing 100%.
Sure.
Okay.
In all sincerity, I don't know, because I'm not familiar enough with the ICE process. I honestly don't know if those are issued by state judges or federal judges. I assume because it's ICE, it's a federal administrative search warrant. So I'm not aware of any litigation, but I also can't speak to the nature of those warrants.
I was just wondering. That's what they use. Okay.
Yeah, honest answer is I don't know. I don't know enough about ICE warrants. I don't know that they're related, though.
Thanks.
Again, these,
So, Matt, so Andrew, are you done?
Oh, all done.
Okay, so let me I want to just sort of, we can walk through this. So right now, as it stands, we go to investigate, we go to check out a property, and we're getting told no, based on the findings of the court, correct? Or we're getting letters that are saying you can't come and inspect this property.
there have been tenants who are refusing inspections.
Okay.
And L&I has required that if a tenant is going to refuse that, it be in writing.
Okay, so right now, what we're proposing is an alternate method. We're saying either our people inspect or you have a third party inspect, right? Is that what we're talking about right now?
Correct.
Okay, and I mean, there's obviously pros and cons. The con is that, for the landlord, they have to pay for it out of pocket. But what is the pro in besides giving them another opportunity, why would a landlord choose to have a third-party inspector versus us inspecting?
Sure, it relates back to the tenant's position.
Okay.
The crux of the lawsuit is that the plaintiffs believe essentially the government should not enter someone's home
Okay.
without specific probable cause of a crime. Crime or ordinance violation in this case.
Okay.
What this does is remove the government piece of it.
Right.
So it would be an independent private inspector who would go in there and then issue the report to us certifying that the property is up to code.
Okay. So it's basically the idea they don't want the government to come into their property, and now we're saying, hey, well, you can have this other person come in, and these are people that we vetted, and they will follow our checklist, and you have to pay out of pocket, versus us doing it, which is, is there a cost for us to do the inspection?
Yeah,
Yeah,
But
there's a cost for us.
Like compared to a third party, I would imagine a third party would be way more expensive than, say, our inspection costs. Am I to understand?
More than likely, yes. I mean, there might be some third parties that their inspection costs are less for ours, but a lot of times what happens is that you go into an inspection and let's say, for instance, you find something minor, like the battery in the smoke alarm needs to be replaced, or you need to put in a CO2 detector because you don't have one on each floor because of the new code requirement. That would require a re-inspection. So we don't charge for a re-inspection,
Okay.
but most third parties would.
But if they got re-inspected and they still didn't get it fulfilled, and they get re-inspected again, it would be like a comedy of errors, basically,
They would get charged each time. I think we only charge after the third inspection.
Are we in any way saying to these third parties, this is how much you can charge, or is it like charge at will?
No, there's no limitation in there, and I also don't think we can limit
Okay.
what private companies,
Okay.
charge for that fee.
All right.
Yeah, and in terms of the legal basis, you're correct. It's really about the government going in the home. The Commonwealth decision is strictly about when an administrative search warrant can or should be issued.
Yeah.
And I say this for the public also. It does not say that inspections are
Right.
not allowed, and it doesn't say that rental units don't have to meet certain minimum code standards.
Right.
And so this, circumvents the administrative search warrant issue in most cases.
But either way, they gotta get things inspected. So whether you use our people to do it, or whether you use a third party, it's gotta happen.
Correct.
Okay. And then we still have the ability to pursue that if they're not getting the inspections done in some capacity, correct?
Correct.
Okay. All right, awesome.
Good questions.
This is not a question, it's a statement. I think this is important. I know the mayor and I have dealt with people with slumlords and mold in the basement, no hot water. And I have another one. And the landlord won't let anybody inspect it. And I can't do anything because if I do something, she's going to get thrown out. So we need to do something because this is the same problem over and over again.
Absolutely.
Yeah, I think the problem is a sincerity problem, because I thought, Matt, what you said was the landlords were concerned about the violation of the constitutional rights of their tenants to have people come into their house. But they're not concerned about the constitutional rights of their property to have running water, although that's not listed in the Constitution, but it is a basic human right. So is that what we're hearing from these very sincere people?
Yeah, the plaintiffs involve,
Okay.
representative landlords and tenants as they identify
Because they're the
themselves
champions of the
and-
people.
Right.
Got it. Cool.
I'd say about 90% of the complaints I get from my constituents and tenants about their landlords are after they're evicted or they're kicked out for a reason because they don't, their landlord's going to stick it to them.
Yep.
Yeah, and that's one of the reasons why the borough put this program into place in the first place, was because the way that we did it before, we would respond to a tenant complaint and go in and inspect the property at the tenant's request. But by creating a regular routine inspection program that is required equally for everyone, it doesn't put the specific tenants on the spot and into potentially difficult situations with their landlords because they called the borough on the landlord for not doing something. Under our program, they don't have to call anyone. We're going to be coming every other year anyway. So that's what we were trying to protect here, and I think that's really what this case is about. It's about balancing the protection of property rights for tenants with their right to make sure that their landlord is being held accountable for things that they're responsible for, and they're not coercing the tenant not to call somebody or not to tell that something's wrong, and putting everybody at a higher safety risk. And I think in the borough, it's especially important because our rental units, a lot of them are attached. So for fire issues, for water leaks, these things can go across party walls very easily. And if you're not getting in there to inspect them on a regular basis, these things can get out of control quickly. So we think it's important, and I think that really commend Matt for figuring out this workaround, which ultimately will protect the tenants at the end of the day.
Good job, Matt.
Thank you.
You had made food, it would have been better than that. Just saying.
Yeah, well, but again, take time to go over it, in detail. Please send any proposed changes or questions you have, which we can address between now and Monday night. This will be listed Monday night for action under new business, again, with the request being that you authorize it be advertised for adoption at your April meeting.
Okay.
Thank you.
Land Development, 920 Glasgow Street. Matt?
Yeah, this is a land development plan for 920 Glasgow Street.
Yes.
It's approximately 1.3 acres in size. It's irregularly shaped as an L. The developer is proposing to construct on the property 14 commercial storage units, which will be accessible from Glasgow Street. This is in Councilor Vanny's ward. This has been considered by the Planning Commission, which has recommended conditional preliminary final approval for the plan, as well as the grant of 2 requested waivers, one of which is for combined approval, as well as for street trees. The plans, as well as the review letters, are in your packet, along with the waiver letter. I believe Mr. Chad Martin is here on behalf of the developer. Mr. Martin, did you want to say anything to council about the plan? You don't have to if you don't want to. Okay. Does council have any questions for Mr. Martin?
I do.
Yeah.
I'll wait till you come up.
Yeah, and if you would speak into the microphone, just because people are watching online, not to.
Good evening.
Hi. I don't have an issue with the project itself. I have a concern with the fence. First, let me ask you, has the fence already been put up? Because I know you already got a permit for it.
Yes, the fence is already
Okay.
installed.
So that's going to be too bad, so sad for my question. I'm just concerned about the wooden fence and maintenance on it. I was hoping for a different type of fence, but I'm not going to push for that when the fence is already up.
That's what was required. We asked about doing a metal fence, and that's not what is in the zoning. So we discussed that with Patty, the planning commission, and when we applied to get that, because we actually wanted to do a metal fence.
So Matt, can you, well, I wasn't thinking metal, but can you speak to that?
I can just speak to it. Going off memory, metal is not a type of fence that is permitted. So
Right.
Metal fence specifically would have required a variance.
But like a PVC fence?
I don't remember that being in the ordinance either. Like, it seemed to be a little bit dated, and the specific thing that was required was a wooden fence. So, I mean, our intention, we just spent $20,000.
Yeah, I
on
know.
fence. So our intention is not to let it fall into disrepair. The one that was there that we took down was probably from the 1990s and never maintained. So we've got a plan in place where it's every 2 years, it's going to get sprayed and taken care of.
Okay.
So,
I was concerned about the people across the street, and also, we had done a couple years ago, allowed something to be built or used in a certain way that required a fence. That business is no longer there. Nobody's in that building. That fence is not being maintained. So that's, excuse me, that's my concern. So I just had those questions. I was hoping for a different type of fence, but that's clearly not your fault.
yeah, we got the requisite permits and approvals and everything, so, yeah.
Oh, I had one more question. Is the fence high enough to hide the storage units?
No, I mean, it's a 6-foot fence, and then it can only be 4 foot in the front yard space. So we did, I think, the maximum that might have been allowed per zoning, again, without getting a variance.
How high are the storage units, I guess would be a better,
The eave height, which would be the bottom of the roof, is 16 feet.
okay,
And then it's a 1-pitch roof, so it probably goes up to maybe 18 feet at the peak.
okay.
So, and there's a setback, so depending on where you are, will be what you can see.
Thank you, I appreciate you coming and answering my
No
questions.
problem.
As a developer, which one would you prefer? The wood fence or the PVC fence?
Not the wood one, right?
Or which one? I mean, seriously, which, from a cost standpoint, from a maintenance standpoint, what would you prefer?
So PVC is more expensive up front. It does degrade with UV, and if you hit it with a lawnmower, it's going to get smashed and break. So I'm not quite sure what that cost-benefit analysis is. I think if you maintain your wood fences, it's probably your best bet. Metal's gotten so expensive now, that kind of pushes it out of range. We don't like that chain link look with the
No.
green slats, because the
Ugh,
green
yeah, I
slats
don't like
degrade
that
and they
either.
look bad. It's just a classic white, not white, sorry, classic wood stockade fence, dog ears, like, it's just
It's
what
the
you're used to
maintenance.
seeing. It's a maintenance
Yeah.
thing, so either you do the maintenance or you don't,
So please do the maintenance.
we will do the maintenance. And again, I think we've done everything we've said we were gonna do
Yes.
with
Yeah,
the planning
you
commission
have.
and everything. The property was an eyesore, we've taken
Mm-hmm.
over 100 tons of trash out of there, and it's in much better shape than it has been since the 90s.
And it'll be nice to see it be used.
And again, it's, for small businesses, I think it's gonna be a great asset to be able to, store all of your stuff and run stuff.
I agree.
We're working with the Small Business Development Center to give them some support with, you take that step out of your garage, you get your first place that you can grow your business, and then give them some support from the SBDC. So that's kind of
That's
our
fantastic.
goal, is
Nice.
to help people. There's nothing, it's not a great sexy thing. It's a garage. But I
Right.
think it's
But it
important
matters.
for, the growth of the economy in general. All the stuff that we do, the money that we're going to spend goes to contractors that are in Montgomery, Chester, and Lancaster County. So it's kind of that injection of money directly into the economy. And then it's 4 guys that are going to come out and put your siding on, clean your gutters, your electrician. So it's very locally based stuff that we're doing, and it's needed.
Thank you.
Yep.
I think I was the only problem.
You do? I'm good. Oh, okay, all right, thank you.
Thank you.
And again, the Planning Commission has recommended land development approval on this, as well as the grant of the requested waivers. The information is in the packet. This will be listed for action
On
on
Monday.
Monday.
All right, thank you. Water trench restoration bid.
Yeah, sure. So I'll take these, and I'm gonna actually group the next three together. So,
I appreciate
for all these bids, they closed on Friday, and we'll have a recommendation for award at the Monday night meeting.
Okay, Park Title VI policy.
So, by the requirements of the Federal Transit Administration, we're required to update the policy to their standards every 5 years. So, this policy, basically, it makes sure that PART operates in compliance with the FTA program requirements and ensures that transit services are made available and equally distributed and provides equal access and mobility to any person without their regard to race, color, or ethnic origin. So we would ask to list that as well as the bids, the three bids above that on the consent agenda for Monday.
Okay, do you want to take the 16 Park?
Yep. So I'll take 16 and
I was gonna
17.
say that, okay.
So the part drug and alcohol policy, this has to be updated every 3 years to federal requirements. And then the public agency transportation safety plan, that has to be updated every 3 years as well, in accordance with FTA's annual certifications and insurances. So we would like to ask those two items be listed for the consent agenda for Monday night as well.
Okay, well, I still have you, Monco 2040 grant resolution.
So this is the grant that I alluded to earlier in the agenda. This builds upon the effort that we've been making to repair sidewalks that are damaged by street trees. There's a project that's underway right now, that there's two parts to it. There's one part that would repair areas in the downtown and highly trafficked areas, and then another part that is for a homeowner initiative for low to moderate income homeowners, owner occupied, that meet certain criteria. So that grant is actually in review right now. We'll have an award on that soon. But what this project does is builds upon the commercial side replacement portion of that, and it'll be targeted in the downtown for sidewalks damaged by street trees. There's also an opportunity that there may be certain site or streetscape amenities that could be provided as a part of this grant that will aid some of what PICO will be doing with their sidewalk replacement that we're hopeful that will happen. So we're asking that that gets added to the consent agenda for Monday night. The borough match will be $24,715, and we're seeking $164,750 from the grant.
Okay, alcohol consumption request, Fennel LeBlanc, Pottstown Area Economic Development.
Correct. So yeah, this is the same as last year, except they're not going to do a street closure this year. It'll be Smith Family Plaza from 6 to 9 p.m.
Okay, and alcohol consumption requests.
Again, similar to last year, held in Memorial Park, it will be for alcohol consumption until play ceases from 11 a.m. to 12 a.m.
Okay, street closure requests, Foxtrot 5K, Sly Fox Brewery. They don't need no, look, they don't.
Yeah, so we do this one every year.
Oh, did I?
Yeah.
Oh, I'm sorry. I'm skipping everything there. Sorry. Okay, let me go back. Street closure for Low Show, Orchid Euro, September 4th through September 7th.
Yeah, so it's going to run pretty much the same as last year, but the closures are going to operate in a different stage. The biggest change is that they're going to let traffic partially go through on Friday. So on Friday, starting at 9 a.m., there'll be a partial road closure on Friday, 9/4 through from 9 a.m. to 5 p.m. Monday, September 7th. So High Street eastbound lanes and adjacent south side parking spots from Manatee to Charlotte Street traffic will be rerouted to King Street. Westbound lanes will still be able to get through. And then the stage 2 will start at 12 p.m. to 9 p.m. Saturday. And then on 9/5, 5 a.m. to 8 p.m. On Sunday, 9/6. And that'll be from High Street, on High Street from College Drive to Evans Street, Hanover Street from South Street to King Street. And then 5 a.m. to 8 p.m. on the day of the show. Only the South Charlotte Street parking lot road closure from High Street to 18 South Charlotte Street will be added at that point. So I know the packet's or the information's in your packet. If you want to look at the map for the closure areas, it might be easier. But let me know if you have any questions.
Okay, and now the street closure requests for Foxtrot.
Right. So this is 1 hour. It'll begin at Sly Fox in the Circle of Progress and uses Glasgow Rice, Chestnut, and Prince. And a lot of this goes through West Pottsgrove as well, so.
Okay. Street closure request for Red Horse Motoring Club, car show, and the dates.
Yes, so they are requesting 1 p.m. to 9 p.m. It will be West High Street from College Drive to East High Street at Evans Street, and then Hanover Street from King Street to the Norfolk Southern Railroad tracks.
Okay, and street closure request for Pear Blossom Block Party.
Right, so this one will be 12 to 4 p.m. on Charlotte Street between Beach and Walnut.
Okay, another street, well, we got a lot of street closures. don't we?
Getting them all,
We having
getting them all
parties
done
going on.
this month. Yeah.
It's going down here in Pottstown.
Plan your calendars now.
Yes, street closure requests, Pottstown Play Streets. I like the play streets. Okay. Pottstown Parks and Rec Department, and there's the dates.
Yep, so the dates are listed. It'll be 5:15 to 7:30 p.m. The closure will be different for each date. And there's an attachment for the specific streets that will be impacted on those dates.
Okay, and street closure for Juneteenth community celebration, Be Resilient, June 13th.
June 13th with a rain date for June 14th.
Yep.
It'll be from 10 a.m. to 7 p.m. High Street at Hanover to Charlotte Street, as well as Hanover Street, York Street, down to Hanover? Okay.
She comes some sounds good.
So that's what I have for that one. And also, they're asking for Smith Family Plaza use as well.
Okay, and street closure request for Memorial Day Parade, Pottstown Joint Veterans.
That will be assembly at 8:30 a.m. The parade will begin at 10 and terminate at 11. Route will be from East High, west to Manatawny, north to Veterans Island entrance to the park, and will disband at Veterans Island.
Okay, we have some board vacancies, current vacancies, Harb, one partial term to expire.
That it's unveiled, it's looking a little rough out there. I'd just like to report that our L&I department will be hitting the core, pretty hard now. We were down an inspector for a little while, but now he's back in action. And probably, if you see something really offensive, you get a lot more benefit of going to our service request center on our borough website. You can upload the picture and tell where the address is, and that you'll get a lot better response than just posting on social media or something.
Yes.
And I think picking up trash is something everybody could do. I mean,
Yes.
I understand some, might not have the money to fix your sidewalk or your, parts of your house, your facade or porch or something like that, but you could get a trash bag. Clean it.
Put it
Absolutely.
in the can that's right next to it.
Yeah,
How
and,
about that? Sorry.
and take your trash out every week instead of every month. And then when it's all overflowing out of the bin. So we're working on it. but, yeah.
Absolutely. Lisa, what you got for us?
If we could, next month, could we just have an update on the drone? I've been asked about it, so if we could just get an update. I know I asked a couple months ago.
Okay.
The other thing, I just want to remind everybody, because I think it's a hidden gem that it gets forgotten about, Henry's. If, who clapped? Yeah, if you haven't been there in a while, go. I just went in February. I know people say it's super expensive, but it's not. I got mussels and a Caesar salad, and it was plenty for me. Frank gives you a ton of bread. And it's always entertaining to go and sit there. You'll wait for your food, but
I need to go.
it's made to order, and it's delicious, and you'll be friends with half the people in there by the time you leave. So don't forget about Henry's, it's kind of hidden away. That's all I got.
Thank you. Ray, what you got?
So first, I want to congratulate Mike and his staff at Parks and Rec. This is a well-deserved honor that you guys are getting, so, I mean, congratulations. I want to thank the mayor for inviting me to walk and having the patience with my niece while she walked with us. She walked the first mile, and then she realized there was this, well, really the first mile and a half, and then she realized there was another mile and a half. And there was some major sighing going on.
Her boots were fire. Her boots were fire.
Yeah.
They were nice.
Yeah, oh, she's very stylish. But I did get some negative eyes from my church because I didn't walk with them. Instead, I walked with the mayor. So I had to, the next day say a few, hey, I'm sorry. I have my priorities. So next week at our meeting, I'm actually going to have our scouts with us. So my troop is going to be here. They are all taking part in a citizenship and community merit badge. And part of it is they need to go to a public meeting and see things that are discussed at the public meeting. So they will be here. Hopefully they will be on their best behavior. I want to also mention, if I don't totally want to do it, just in case I forget it for next week. So the high school has a show coming up. They're doing Disney's The Descendants. It starts on Friday, March 20th, and it will be going for 2 weekends. All 3 Rose Boys will be in that show, whether they will be singing behind the scenes as a scenery crew or playing a instrument in the pit. So that's not the only reason to go. Obviously, there's many other reasons to go. But the kids are really hard at work. These are amazing productions. This is supporting your community. It is a super positive thing that people come into our community. And, often Pottstown School District gets some bad rep for various reasons. But people come to these shows and they're like, I just saw this amazing performance, and it's a great thing to happen. So I would ask anybody who has any inclination whatsoever about going to see a show, go see it. So that's it for me.
All right, thank you. Josh,
I was
what you got
actually
for
gonna
us?
mention that too, so.
Okay.
But I was also going to pair it with Steel River is doing their Leap of Faith thing for
yeah, I
season
heard
tickets
that
right now.
was-
So to support
I heard that was good.
kind of a Main Street institution, I would suggest you look into that. I also wanted to speak, even though we didn't give reports on it, just want to briefly mention the Efficient Means meeting we had that Ray and I participated in with Justin this week. And the vision and the need to row in the same direction, and we're all kind of on that same page, and we'll be working with leadership and the rest of the council to start really working through that process. So I want to encourage or thank Laura and Jamie and pretty much everyone in this room that encourages us in that way to have that conversation. So.
That was good, I love that. Thank you. Andrew?
I had the opportunity to be invited to the Hill School by the Pottstown Cares people.
Okay.
And they had a fantastic speaker by the name of Erica Rothenberger. And she is a tremendous speaker, completely positive. And what I found that I took away from that is the power of connection and the power of contacts. And what she said is that every day, try to reach out to someone that you haven't seen or talked to. And I've been doing that, and it's really nice. It's really, really nice to reach out. And sometimes, as you don't get to somebody, and then you find out that your cousin Paulie passed away, and you wish that you would have reached out to Paulie. Okay, but you didn't.
Yeah.
But the point is that connections are important. People are important. Reach out to somebody that you haven't talked to in a long time, even if you were angry at them.
That's a powerful one at the end. Joe, what you got for us? You ain't got nothing. Not a thing. What you do yesterday? Was work good yesterday? Okay. What you eat? What you eat? Did you eat something? A salad? What you have on the salad? You did something now. Come on. What you do, Joe? No news? Did you have some juice? Okay. All right. I know, right? So, I really don't have anything either, but I just want to thank my team over here. You guys are awesome, and you're doing a wonderful job. I just want to let y'all know that from myself. And you know, how she know? You know what people, since I'm the president now, they come to, they come to me and they say good things about us. So I just want to let y'all know. We get now. Don't get it twisted. We get the little negatives too, also. So, I just want to say, I hear good things, about us council, and I just want to thank you guys because I appreciate you. And again, out there, we can't do this without y'all. We need y'all. We need y'all to help us. We can't do this by ourselves. I always say that at the end. So if is there any executive session, thank you. So if I'm sorry. I'm about to miss somebody. I'm so sorry. Madam Mayor, what you got?
I have nothing because you all covered everything so eloquently. No, thank you. I have nothing.
Okay, you sure?
I bought my tickets to Descendants.
Okay, there you go. See? There you go, right there. Okay, well, that's it for us, ladies and gentlemen. Have a good night. Meeting adjourned.